Welcome, everybody, to Night of the Nerdy Laser, episode 93. I am your host, as always, Richard. We are reviewing a Tubi original, Yule.
And I'm Jeff Lown.
And I'm very excited, Jeff, just because we love Tubi so much, and I watch the damn thing all the time. And they've been getting into the original movie game here for a while. I don't know, sometimes it's probably they just buy. I mean, for the most part, it's just they buy movies, I'd say.
I don't even know how it works, how companies acquire stuff. I guess just contracts with the digital rights.
Well, I know, like, with Netflix, I know with Netflix, like, used to, they would just buy movies.
Mm-hmm.
You go to festivals, people, whatever, and you buy a movie. I mean, now they have enough money to where they make their own content.
Right.
Well, not now, because the writers are on strike. And here's this fly, Jeff.
I'm glad he's back making another cameo.
Yeah. I mean, he's not back. He's just never left.
Well, I'm glad he finds your house so hospitable to him.
Maybe he'll land on my head if you're lucky.
I hope so.
Can you hear it?
Can
you hear it?
I did that violent fly you just did.
All right. So the flyby, he's like Maverick and doing the buzz by on the tower. People are spilling their coffee. All right. So the fuck were we talking about? I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, Tubi in their originals.
Oh, so I don't know how this worked exactly. So the reason I know about this movie, because I probably would have just skipped by it. I would have never paid attention to it. But I listened to the Talk Scary to Me podcast. That is Scout Taylor-Compton and Danielle Harris's podcast.
Yep.
Which I do like their podcast, but sometimes a whole episode of just them talking about sex, I don't know if I need that. But here lately, they've been doing because if you're going to talk about it, you might as well just do video, and I need proof. But here lately, they've been talking to a lot of people, and they had Spider-1 on. Well, I knew Spider-1 because of Powerman 5000, and because he is Rob Zombie's brother.
Father to Spider-2.
Who knows?
Spider the Third.
We'll never know.
Rob Zombie's brother, though. Yes. What?
Yeah. So, which he's done another movie as well, and I can't remember the name of it.
Animorphs or
something. I don't know.
Yeah, Animorphs. That's correct.
That's the old Power Ranger thing.
Allegoria was the
Allegoria. That's right.
Jeez. He's got, he doesn't have any credits besides that and maybe like a music video. But it's just funny. His credits for Allegoria, he did executive producer, director, performer, soundtrack writer.
Allegoria.
Okay, you got it. You did it. Like, you did it all.
I think this one is I mean, I've not seen the other one, but this one, this is a professional looking movie. Like, we'll talk about it, and I don't know your exact feelings on it, because we haven't really talked about it. But he directed this movie, and Krsy Fox, which is his wife, wrote it. Him and her wrote it, and she's actually in the movie as Sadie.
Now, who was Sadie?
Sadie is June's sister.
Oh, okay. See, the thing about this movie and the characters, and I'm sure we'll talk about it later, is I got all 5 of them confused because they all look the same.
They don't.
Yeah, they did.
No, one of them's a slutty one that dances. One of them's a nerdy one's got glasses.
So it's the Spice Girls.
Yeah. slutty one, nerdy
one. Nerdy one. Also like Pokemon or something. One of each kind.
I'm not necessarily going to argue with you. Now the Sadie and the Carmen, I did kind of get confused a little bit. And the Betty one I didn't need in my life. Like Betty was the mother.
Was she the nerd one?
Huh?
Was she the nerd one or the like overbearing
Betty?
teacher?
Betty?
Yeah.
Betty is she's the mother. So because you have the mother one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I don't know.
The nerdy one is Liz.
Oh, Liz. Okay, I don't know. That's.
I mean, I'm telling you, there's 5 women in this movie. There's Betty, she's a mother. Liz is the nerdy one. Carmen's the whore. June is the bride to be, and Sadie is her overbearing sister.
Okay, and when they all come together, do they turn into Captain Planet or do they turn into Voltron? Our forces combined.
Oh God. You hate this movie, don't you?
Why? Because I'm talking about anything but the movie?
Yeah.
No. Let's go. Keep going.
Let's go so I can rate this piece of shit. All right, Bury the Bride. It's from this year. It just got released in April 2023. A simple story. Basically, this bachelorette group of friends is going to have a party at this. You'd think they'd go to a hotel and all this, but the bride's groom wanted them to have it at his property.
Right.
Now none of them have ever met him, and it's all sketchy, and he doesn't like pictures taken of him.
Cool little thing. That's a cool little thing that he doesn't like his picture taken. It plays into why later.
Yeah, for sure. No, I mean, look. So they get to this place. So they get there, and it's this dumpy place.
Yeah.
It says there's a hot tub in there, and there's like a goat head in the hot tub or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I can understand people arguing with this. Like, why would you stay there, go there? I mean, I think they do a good job of explaining why they do stay. Did you have a problem with that?
What was the reason?
Well, I mean, the reason was because of the groom wanted them to have it there. But for me, the reason I'm okay with it is because I've seen Barbarian, and I can just let anything go because of that movie.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just the way it is. I mean, I don't hate that movie. I probably like that movie more now after thinking about it and stuff. But the movie has problems that nobody wants to admit.
Oh, it does have problems. I think another movie you could say the same kind of thing about it is Malignant.
I have not seen it.
One. Oh,
I've not seen it.
I really liked it. I thought it was cool.
I started watching it, and then I did. I mean, the end got ruined for me before I could watch it. So I'm like,
Do you remember what it was? Don't say it.
Yes.
Oh, see, I have bad memories, and I don't even remember what happened.
I don't. If somebody talks about something, it's
I mean, I know. I guess I know what it is, but yeah.
So, they compared it to another movie, so I was like, "Oh, okay."
Freddy Got Fingered.
Yeah,
I knew it.
You love that movie.
I do love it. It's so good. It's a LeBaron. It's a LeBaron.
I've never seen it. I guess I need to watch it.
Yeah, you do actually.
It is funny because I'm a Tom Green fan, but I don't know why I never watched it.
Oh, he's great.
I know why I never watched
it. Why? Because you're a contrarian?
Well, because everybody said it was awful. I mean, it's notoriously one of the worst movies ever made.
But it's great at the same time.
I mean, I gotta watch it.
Now I gotta watch it.
All right.
Grandma's Boy, which is another wonderful movie.
What?
Grandma's Boy is another wonderful
movie. That's a good one. I like it. I mean, I don't think I like it as much as everybody else, but it's funny. I mean, it's funny.
I love
honestly, only one scene I can remember is where they're talking about the race car bed, and I like that part. So
one of my favorite parts is they're walking in the hallway, and JP's hiding behind his Matrix jacket like that.
Oh,
They're like, JP, we could see you, and he's like, he's just such a weird little guy. It's great.
All right. So, back to the movie Jeff's trying to avoid.
Yes.
I love Scout Taylor-Compton. I mean, she's from Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2, and then she does a bunch of Lifetime stuff. Her and Danielle are actually writing, I think, multiple movies, and they're just going to make them themselves.
That's cool. I mean, I think they have a big enough audience that it could support it.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Danielle can't get work. Like, if you listen to her on the podcast, like, it's just so people need to listen to the latest one that just dropped with Jamie Kennedy, and they go into how Hollywood isn't Hollywood anymore, and I mean, it makes sense, you know.
Yeah. He's another interesting guy too, Jamie Kennedy.
For sure. Yeah, he is. He's got a podcast that's really good.
I used to love Malibu's Most Wanted. That was another one that I just loved.
I mean, I love the Jamie Kennedy Experiment.
That was cool too. Yeah.
All right. So, Star Scout, and I really like Scout. I've liked her for a long time. I think she's very attractive. But I pinpointed that I can never actually, like, I just view her as whatever 20-year-old that she was in Rob Zombie, and she's not 20 now, and so it's hard for me to gather that she's like mid-30 or 33, I think she is.
Yeah.
So I can never really pick her out, you know, but she works a lot, apparently, but like I said, mostly in like rom-coms, stuff like that.
She was in Allegoria.
Well, so she's friends with her, so her best friend is Krsy Fox.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
So yes.
She was in another one, I want to say it was on Shudder, called The Long Night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, it wasn't, again, it kind of rates about the same as this one for me, but it had some interesting ideas and stuff.
Shit.
I don't know about all that. But yeah, it looks like she gets a lot of work, but it looks like a lot of indie stuff as opposed to studio stuff.
It's not even indie stuff, I don't think. I mean, I think it's like a lot of like Hallmark and stuff.
Yeah.
Also, so Dylan Rourke is in this. Now, I don't know who that is. I mean, he plays David, but he's fantastic.
Was he the fiance?
Yes.
Okay. He was good. I mean,
he is a high point of this movie. I'm sorry. I thought he was fantastic. I think he makes the movie. And I mean, I never thought I'd say this, but Chaz Bono is in this, and he's great too.
Who was that one?
He's Puppy.
Okay.
The little one that doesn't talk?
Oh, the one that tried to like sway him or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. No, I got it.
And that's Cher and Sonny Bono's son.
Oh, okay. I really didn't know any of these people other than Scout Taylor. I mean, that's not to say like
the only other person I knew was Chaz. I mean, especially when I saw the name. I mean, I know that name. But apparently, Dylan just lives like down the street from Spider-1. So they're neighbors. So it just so happened that he just called him up and he said, sure.
Hey, whatever works, right?
But I think he plays a great, like, redneck, grungy. Because Spider-1 does not fall far from the Rob Zombie tree.
No, it was kind of the like white trashy hillbilly, cursing, cussing, drinking, and fighting kind of crowd that I think he tries to appeal to. But yeah, like when I was watching that was one of my thoughts. I was like, oh boy, it's just Rob Zombie. And I mean, but it's not Rob Zombie doing it. That was my issue with it. But it felt very Rob Zombie.
Yeah, it did. But I mean, I like the movie. I've watched it twice, actually. Well, I guess a time and a half because I watched half the movie. I had like 30 minutes left, and that was like a week ago or 2 weeks, or actually when it first came out. And then when said we were going to do it for this thing, I said, well, I'll just rewatch it. So
Okay.
it's very dialogue heavy, and if you don't like that, you're not going to like this movie. It's probably not going to appeal to. I mean, like, I don't know. What are your thoughts of this? Like, I like it. Do you like it? No.
No, I mean, it's not bad. I like, you'll see with my rating, but so, it felt very Rob Zombie, but it wasn't Rob Zombie. So I was like, okay, that's whatever. I was
It
like,
wasn't as white trash as Rob.
no, and I mean, it wasn't the bright colors and weird like stuff that Rob Zombie puts in his films either. You know what I mean? Like,
There weren't
anyway,
weird cuts or anything like that. Like it was a normal movie.
yeah, I did have an issue. I mean, a lot of it's set at night, which makes sense for what the movie is, but
Well,
I
and
mean, there were
apparently
there were a
they're in the
couple.
middle of the desert, and it was fucking miserable.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, there were parts that were just too dark for me. Like I couldn't see anything, and I get
Yeah,
it.
there, especially towards the end, there is one scene for like 3 minutes. There's a lot of walking in this movie, a lot of running, a lot
Yeah,
of like they stay on them to sort of like bide time. I mean, the movie's only an hour and 20 minutes.
yeah, it's short, and I appreciated that. But I mean, it was done fine. Had like an indie feel to it. Had a Rob Zombie feel to it. A little too dark, like I said. Acting was fine for sure. I mean, it wasn't nobody in it. I was really annoyed by anybody or like they've never
No,
done any of this
I mean,
before.
I thought the acting was great. I mean, I really did. And I am viewing this as a Tubi original movie.
I'm viewing it as like a made for TV movie, current
Yeah.
era. That's kind of how I was looking at this. So I was like, I
Yeah.
could come on and just say it was real bad, but I'm looking because it wasn't a big studio, it wasn't a big streaming platform. It was a Tubi original, a place that doesn't charge you a penny to stream stuff on it. So I'm
I
like, okay,
finally, after 8 years of watching Tubi, I gave them my email the other day.
you're just a random guy before that.
Yeah, I never would, but see, with the email, you can when you sign in, you can like make a list and
Yeah,
and
I made
it'll
one a
keep
long
your
time ago.
progress and stuff. So I should have done that a long time ago.
It was just you hurting yourself. But
Yeah,
no, I like because they always do recommended, and a lot of places do. If you like this movie, you probably like this.
yeah,
I think Tubi's is actually really good. Like like I mean, I watch a lot of Trauma on there or
yeah.
Full Moon, a
Full
lot of them,
Moon.
and the recommendations like 80s, 90s, like trashy, cheap stuff is like my main thing, or like teen sex comedies, and I'm like, yeah, it knows me so perfectly.
All right. So basically that's the story that they go to this house, and then that night, well, they do fun things during the day, which
Like
is
what?
only yoga.
Oh, I thought you meant they go down to the dungeon.
Well, that's too far from here because the
Oh,
dungeon is located in Maryville, Tennessee, and ran by our good friend Jason down at the dungeon, Southland_dungeon over on Instagram. We'll get you pictures of new merchandise coming in every day. He's got VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, video games, tarot cards, vinyl records, and so much more. If you can't make it down to Maryville, Tennessee, you can go to Southland_dungeon. And if you can make it down to Maryville, Tennessee, you will go to East Broadway, go to the roundabout, and Southland Books is right there above the dungeon. So you can go to southlandbooksandcafe.com to find out more information.
yes.
But this fun day consisted of just doing yoga outside.
Yeah.
So that night they're partying, whatever. The rich slutty one opens up a $2,400 thing of champagne or wine or whatever wine, and and then there's a knock at the door, and that's where like the and they go
Yeah.
they go out there. Somebody answers the door, or goes to unlock the door, and it's a cool shot, kind of barbarian like.
Yeah.
Where it's a
Well,
far off shot from the house, but the house is awesome though. I think like it's a cool, spooky little tiny house.
yeah, it's not bad. And I mean, you said one shot. When you said one shot, one scene came to mind. They had the slutty girl bend over. He had her bend over in front of the camera, and I was like, "Come on, why? Why are we?" She's like, "Hello," when she answers the door, and I was like, "Why?
Yeah.
Why are we taking
We
that
gotta
shot?"
see
Like,
those cut jean shorts, Jeff. Right up.
yeah, but then we had to watch like a 4-minute dance scene of her with those guys.
Why are you complaining?
Hey,
Stop complaining about stuff. So anyway, it
I
turns
got
out
it.
so basically Scout Taylor-Compton starts screaming. They go back in there, and this guy has her, but then she starts laughing, and you realize it's her groom to be, and then his redneck friends come in, and everybody's freaked out, creeped out, and all this. And it's fine. I mean, I like the introduction of them.
Who was the big
We
guy?
are probably going to spoil from here on out. So if you want to watch the movie, since it's kind of new and free, go watch it and come back. Because nothing about the synopsis spoils the movie, which I appreciate. And
Yeah,
even Bury the Bride, you don't know what the hell that means, really. But I mean, it turns out that they're vampires.
yeah, they are. What
So
was
we
the
get the
big tall
4-minute
guy's name?
scene of the girl dancing, and then the toothless guy just starts gnawing on her neck.
Yeah, the big tall guy. Who was he?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you read almost everybody
I
off.
mean, I did, but I mean, I only cared about the one dude. I mean,
It has to be Adam
Adam
Marcinowski.
Markinkowski.
Yeah. He was in Allegoria too, so I guess.
I mean, I'm gonna guess that most of these people are in the other movie. I mean, from what I know, I mean, there was no. I mean, no studio did this. I think he did this and then sold it to Tubi.
Oh, okay.
I don't think Tubi was like, "Hey, Spider One, can you make us a movie?" He didn't go into the details of it, but I mean, I would just imagine that it was the other way around.
That's great that people have call him and say, "Yes, can I speak to Spider?" This is his agent.
It's Mr. Spider One. Thank
Yeah,
you.
sorry, Mr. Spider.
So anyway, the guy, I think that Dylan guy has a huge future, really, in movies. Like his voice is amazing. Apparently, though, if you look at his IMDb, he doesn't look anything like what he looks like in this movie.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because he's all clean shaven, or at least cleaner shaven.
Yeah.
But his voice is amazing in this movie. I guess it's his normal voice. I don't know. But I just love it. So anyway, basically from here on out, it's them trying to run from these vampires. They go back to the house. There's blood on them, so the girls figure out that. Of course, the one nerdy one's like, "Take me to him. Take me to him."
Yeah, that was weird.
It's a little weird, but it was even weirder that she got in the truck and she's in there with David, and he just starts. I mean, he attacks her right in the truck, but everybody can see, or at least one person sees her.
The sister?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was another issue I had. I mean, like I said, it's fine, but the best way to look at it is as like a made for TV movie. Like a modern day made for TV movie. It's a little more violence and gore, because if you look at it like everything else and you're like, okay, the pacing's kind of it's that slow build up, like you're saying, until that first kill, which is a little over halfway through the movie, I want to say, because then it kind of picks up, and there's like a big climactic like 10 minutes where a lot of stuff was happening, but then it kind of slowed down at the end again. Like I basically everything was resolved around the 11 minutes left mark,
Yeah, and then
And
it goes on for another 10 minutes.
yeah, and I was like,
The end is rough in a way because nothing really happens. Although what you're supposed to be doing is seeing the like her making the decision of what she does, because basically now we just have Sadie left.
right.
Everybody else is dead. They've killed June. Um,
Yeah, and then she does a Pearl-esque like 4-minute dialogue scene. The sister and I was like, yeah, a little much, but
yeah, I mean it was fine. I didn't have a problem with it, but I mean I could see your point, I guess. So she buries a hole, or she digs a hole, then she
yeah,
buries June.
she buries the bride.
Yeah, because he says that if you bury the ground is special, and well, June got her fucking heart ripped out, so it must be pretty damn special.
Yeah, yeah, she did. She
So
did.
that was kind of cool. I mean, it was a cool special effect, and you think, but it was dark. So I mean, that's how they did it. If they showed a light on it, I mean, it wouldn't look as good as it did.
No.
But I thought it was cool. And so she buries the bride, and then I mean, what takes a while is it's a really cool shot of her standing there, and the camera's underneath her, and so you see the dirt start to move, and I kind of wanted a burst with her hand, but it
Carrie or
wasn't.
something.
Yeah, it was very slow though, and so that was fine. I mean, I kind of I dig the ending, but then when she's walking towards, the camera pans and the other four girls are walking towards the screen, I popped a little bit, dude. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, that was a good
So
touch.
now she's got this like little gang of vampires with her.
Yeah, yeah. Well, you're right.
I like it, man. I think it's I think it's well worth the watch. And I'm gonna follow what this guy's doing, because I think with more money and more time and more people behind him, I think he could do something really special.
Yeah, I'm
I
curious to see how old is he?
I think he's the younger brother of Rob Zombie.
Robert Zombie.
Robert Mr. One Robert Zombie. Um so Spider-1 was born in 68.
Okay, and he was the lead singer of.
So he's 55, so he's not a spring chicken.
No, but it's
He's,
cool that he was Powerman 5000 dude.
my God, is Rob Zombie 60? Oh my God. Yeah, Powerman 5000. Yeah.
Well, they had that Worlds Collide, that big song. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I was
he
never a
got to do.
huge Powerman 5000 person, but
Well, look at this though. If you look at it like this, what was going on with that like new wave rock stuff of like the 90s? And I mean, maybe because look, we got this guy, we got Rob Zombie, we got Fred Durst, we got the other guy. I just had his name in my head. He did Veronica. Oh, Danzig.
Oh, Danzig.
Yeah, I mean he's older, obviously. I think 80s Misfits kind of stuff, but like just interesting to see all the musicians that you knew loved horror coming out and making their own stuff. That's kind of cool.
So Spider-1 talked about being he was like involved with Little Nicky and the Glass House and some weird things in the early 2000s.
Like Adam Sandler, Little Nicky.
Yeah.
Oh wow, look at that.
Well, I think it's by soundtrack only. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's by sound. But I think he was on the set or something. He talked about it.
On the Talk Scary?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that one out. I listen every once in a while, but like you're saying, when they get going about all the sex and stuff.
No, here lately, if they have, I know you don't like Einstein Kills, but they interviewed Spencer, and then this week's was Jamie Kennedy. So those are all good.
For sure. Maybe this Spider-Man too.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man 2, yes. Old Spider.
I had this dream last night that I went to see the new Spider-Man movie, which I don't do because I don't like the
Spider-Verse?
new Spider-Mans. Well, I like the cartoon, okay, but I hate whatever his name is, Tom Holland.
Oh,
Yeah,
poor little Tom Holland.
I know. He cares.
He was good in one Netflix movie. I can't remember what it was called.
I
He
mean,
was like an old 1900s dude, and
I'm just tired of seeing high school Peter Parker. Like, I want a college Peter Parker. Like, I want a Peter Parker that isn't always in high school. Because by the time I started reading Spider-Man, he was not in high school.
You grew with the spider?
I know. I mean, when I picked it up in '90s, and by then, by Todd McFarlane, he moved out, and him and Mary Jane were living together and stuff.
Did you ever read Spider-Man Blue?
No.
Oh man, that's a good one.
So, I'm blue, da da dee da 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 da. So anyway, I like this movie. How many Bury the Brides do you give this movie?
I give it a passable.
Out of 5.
Out of 5, I'd give it a passable 2.5. Honestly, it's not bad. It's got flaws, yes, but when you look at it through the lens, like I said, made for TV. I know you're a big made for TV guy, so I mean, if you look at it like that, even like stuff from like Lifetime and all those other things these days are some of it's interesting. And I mean, back in the day, they were super interesting. And then you had all the like made for TV horror on like ABC and stuff or whatever. Is that who used to do the?
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Reminds me of that, but like a modern one. So I thought that was cool.
I give it a 3.5. I really like it. I really dig it. I mean, I think it's cool. I'd like to see a second one, like with her, with them, like, I don't know, with her being human and them being vampires, and I don't know where they would go with it, but
yeah, it'd be interesting.
And I like seeing Scout and stuff, so
yeah, I mean, it's cool.
All right. Well, we don't know what we're doing next week because Jeff can't pick anything.
Let me see.
And then he blames me for when I pick stuff. He's like, well, when are you going to let me pick a movie? No, take your time. Take your time. Think about it. We'll just keep everybody on suspense. Other than that, we really appreciate y'all listening. Do us a favor and go over to Apple Podcasts if that's where you're listening and review us there. Review us wherever you're listening. Share us and tell your friends. We'd like to let people hear us more because
we'd like to entertain your friends the way we entertain you.
Yeah. So we really appreciate it, and I guess until next time.
They need to keep it bloody.
Because somebody has to. I got nothing.
Me either.